I really wish I was introducing this week's show under different circumstances, but about an hour after we recorded today's episode, we, as I'm sure like many of you, were devastated to learn about the death of Michael Brooks, a person who has been a colleague, a peer, and a comrade of ours for a while. And I think it would be remiss if we allowed this episode to go by without acknowledging him and his life. So where do you want to begin? I guess I'll just say for myself, the Majority Report was the first political podcast I ever listened to, and this was years before I had met any of these guys, and it was him and Sam and Matt. Without realizing it, really did make gave me the thought that like I could do this, and in small but profound ways, really did completely alter the course of my life. And it's just, when I think about the senselessness of this loss of someone at 34 and just the work he's done, it's really hard to comprehend.
Michael was he was always completely straightforward. He cared as much as you possibly can about everyone, not just who worked with him and worked for him, but just generally in his orbit. His callers, people who contributed, people who went on to make their own shows. He paid a special type of attention to every single person in his life. He's someone who truly understood the meaning of life as the way that we affect others, not just politically, but in our own lives. He was something very rare in the business that we're in and in politics in general. Someone who meeting thousands and thousands of people and dozens who worked with him or worked, I guess, in different podcasts. No one ever had anything bad to say about him ever. I never heard it. If they did, I never heard it, or anyone I've talked to has never fucking heard it. Everyone just loved the guy, and I'm not going to act like I was extremely close with him, but having done his show a few times and known him for a few years, it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. He has left a giant hole in the lives of thousands.
So it is always painful to lose someone, and there's an added blow when it's very unexpected. So we're all just terribly shocked. But I mean, it's hard to say anything that people don't already know. He was a very sweet, kind, brave person. And he's very serious-minded, and he was a dedicated comrade. I mean, he was professional. He was very intellectually curious, and he had this authentic populist instinct. He was motivated by this pure love of humankind. He just believed that that we deserve better and that better is possible. Just a rare talent and a one-of-a-kind person. And it's a terrible loss, and he will be greatly missed. And our thoughts are with his loved ones.
Yeah, Michael was definitely one of the smartest, kindest, funniest people that I knew. Forget about in politics at all. And yeah, I just think about what a big hole he's leaving, and how impossible it will be to fill, because of how just great he was at what he did and how passionate he was about it, and for all the right reasons. So yeah, you can't lose someone like that without it being a real tragedy for everyone.
In thinking about this, I just like what comes to mind is obviously the huge outpouring of love and respect from his friends, but also fans and people who knew him only a little bit or only knew him through his show. And I mean, what I'm struck with is just the example that he leaves to the rest of us, and the idea that the things that you believe in, the things that you care about, and the things that you work for are prayers in a way. They're what we send out into the world, and we have no way of knowing their effect on it. And we probably never will, but it really does matter. And it really does. I mean, like, what we put into the world counts for something. And I think you're seeing that. And I hope Michael knew that in his life. And I really know that I hope his loved ones and everyone at their Majority Report realizes that as well. I mean, I think we're all dealing with a time of great despair right now for a lot of reasons. And I think what Michael did on his show and the way he conducted himself is an example to follow in not despairing or surrendering to it. And all I can say is just leave our thoughts and condolences with his friends, family, and all of his coworkers at the Majority Report.